Happy Monday, everybody, and happy Memorial Day. We got Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hello, YouTube. How's it going? Today, I wanted to talk about earning potential and how to explode it exponentially and grow it a lot. So just a quick story. If you're new, hi, I'm Melanie Super. I run my own real estate team with my husband, Jordan, and we're obsessed with financial freedom and helping agents get financial freedom. So yesterday, Jordan and I were going through our finances. As we do most Sundays, we like to track how much we earned in the last week and how much we've spent in the last week to kind of make sure that we're all on track. We realized that in the month of May, we have earned more than the previous 4 months, January, February, March, and April combined, which is very excited. May was a big month for us. We're very happy about that. And just reflecting on that and realizing where our business has taken us in these past couple months, where both Jordan and I have been entrepreneurs for almost 10 years now. So just reflecting on the lessons, and I wanted to share some of the 3 biggest tips that I would give to someone or myself if I wanted to do the same thing with my income, but faster. So hopefully save you some time that you don't have to do. Now, the first one is very important, and that is to track your numbers. Like I said, every Sunday, Jordan and I sit down and we go through all of the money that we made in the last week, and we go through all of the money that we spent. Now, this has not always been a fun exercise because, being honest, some weeks there were times where we were spending more than we were earning, or we weren't earning what we needed to for that month, or just things that, money can be a stressful conversation for people to have. And that was an important exercise for us to just get comfortable with it and get comfortable being a team and our money in the money game that we're playing. I think it's very important for couples to be on the same page when they're talking about money. So if you get into the habit of doing that every single week, it will change everything. What you track or what you measure often grows. It's like if you're trying to lose weight and you have no idea how many calories you eat and how often you go to the gym or what weights, if you don't know if I lift 5 pounds or 25 pounds or 50 pounds, how can you grow that? So if you are paying attention to it, you will know exactly what's going on. And then you can have exciting things like Jordan and I had when we realized that the month of May, we have made way more than any other month. And hopefully we're on track to do even more in June. So make sure that you look at your numbers. I know that it can be uncomfortable. I know that it can be, there's a lot of stories that we have around money and shame and if you're not where you want to be. And I totally understand that, but just you have to know where you are if you want to get to where you want to be. So using the fitness example, if you're 50 pounds overweight, but you've never stepped on a scale, you will have no idea how to build a good plan for yourself to lose those 50 pounds if you truly have no idea where you're at with your current weight goals. So make sure that you're looking at your numbers. Make sure we also, in part of our Sunday thing, is we have what we call a dream budget. So it's how much money in our dream life we would like to spend on, the luxuries in life that are not essential. And so this is really helpful because a lot of people I hear will say things like, I want to make 6 figures this year, or I want to make 7 figures this year, or I want to make $15,000 a month, $30,000 a month, whatever their goals are. But these are just numbers that they feel excited about. And it actually is not rooted in any way into what they want their life to look like. So for us, like if in our dream budget, if I know that this is not in our dream budget, but as an example, if I know I wanted to travel first class every single month, I would figure out what that costs and then multiply that by 12 and have that in my dream budget. So instead of just saying, oh, I want to make more money, or, oh, I want to make $30,000 a month or $50,000 a month, whatever it is, I know that I can say, oh, well, actually it costs $3,000 for first class tickets for me and Jordan, and an extra, another $3 for the hotel that we want to go to or whatever. So I'm going to add $6,000 to my monthly budget on top of the other things. So having that clarity about what you're looking for can really help you then also reverse engineer not only on the budget side of what you're spending and what you're investing in your business or in yourself, but then also into what you know that you need to earn in order to reach those goals. This has been huge. Again, very common, I think, for people to just want to make more money or want to hit a certain figure, but it's not grounded in actually what it will represent in their life. And for me, not only was it really like for some of the things, I was like, oh, actually, that's not that much more that we need to earn to be doing this dream life that I have, which was nice. But also, it just makes it easier on the days that you don't want to show up or the days that you're struggling with your goals or, whatever it is, for you to say, this is exactly why I'm doing this. So number one is track your numbers. And speaking of on the hard days, the second one is just remember your goals. Don't give up. Have patience. We, in this month, made it to a place where the last 4 months, our income, we've made more in May than all 4 months combined. But it took a long time to get to this place. Skills compound, your confidence compounds, your business often, whatever you're doing, like you're going to get, let's say you're growing an email list, that email list is going to grow. Let's say you're growing YouTube subscribers, that's going to grow at a disproportionate rate. It's not linear because all of these things, your skills, your attitude, your confidence, everything is growing, your brand, hopefully all of these things, you're getting a tiny bit better each day. And so it's not linear and you have to wait. There's often in entrepreneurship is referred to as a hockey stick curve because it starts like this and it's nothing. And then it just hockey sticks right up. And most people quit before it gets to that curve where it starts to shoot up. But if they just waited another month, it would exponentially grow like we had in May. And I'm very confident that June is going to be even bigger than May and July, even bigger than June. And now we are on that hockey stick curve. And I'm going to be honest, there were a lot of times that I wanted to give up. Not wanted to give up, but just felt frustrated and felt impatient and disappointed and things are happening slowly. But knowing that good things take time and that the only way to really fail is if you quit, then I was able to keep going and get us to this place. So have patience. Just remember that good things take time and that really the only way to fail is to quit. The only guarantee that you will not get to what you're doing is to quit, because even if you're not making progress in your bank account or on your scale or the way your clothes fit, like if we're doing the fitness thing, your skills are growing, your comfort is growing, like you are slowly becoming a different person on the inside. And sometimes the progress that you're making doesn't show up on the outside, but it gets you to the place where like May 12th or whatever, when everything shifted for us, if you had examined it before, you wouldn't have seen it, but then it carried us to the place where we were able to make this hockey stick jump. And one example or a story that I like about this a lot is it's from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, which is a great book if you haven't read it. He talks about an ice cube melting, and if you raise the temperature of an ice cube 1 degree, you won't see the ice cube melting until, like if you're at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, you won't see anything changing and it feels like it's not changing. But then when it goes from 31 to 32 degrees, 33 degrees, 34 degrees, now it starts melting rapidly. And you think that it was just that 1 degree, but really it was all of the degrees that took you from 0 to 33, 34 to make that ice cube melt. So just because you don't feel like you're making progress or see the progress doesn't mean that you're not actually making progress. Now, for those just jumping in, I'm talking about some of the biggest tips that I've learned earning more in the month of May than all of the months combined leading up to this, starting in January. And if you're new to who I am, I'm Melanie Suber. I run a global real estate team obsessed with wealth creation, financial freedom, teaching others, especially real estate agents, how to build 7-figure businesses and achieve financial freedom. So thanks for tuning in. If you're watching live, let me know what city you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. So the first thing, if you're just jumping in, was to track your numbers, because you really need to see what's going on, not just what you're earning and what you're spending, but also having clarity about how much you want to earn and how much you want to spend and create that dream budget. The second thing is be patient and know that good things take time. And even if you're not seeing progress, you are still making progress. And remembering that often these things have a hockey stick curve and you just need to get to that point, like in the ice cube, where that 1 or 2 extra degrees makes a huge difference. But it was all of the little steps that got you to that place. Now, Memphis, love it. Now, the third thing is finding people that make 1 and 2 easy. Now, like I was saying, when we're talking about tracking numbers, it can be very uncomfortable. It can be hard if you don't have accountability to do anything. And definitely when it gets hard, not having people or community to hold you to it and to remind you of your goals and to stick with it, all those things, it makes it way harder. Just doing anything alone, for the most part, is always going to be harder than doing it with people that are like-minded, that are supporting your dreams and on the right track, or even better, further ahead of you and already achieved what you want. So whether that is a community of peers that are chasing the same thing and you can kind of grow together, or if it is investing, 1 second. quick. So I have an limit on my phone of how long I can be on Facebook, and I forgot to turn it off. So thanks for being patient. I'm back. So whether it's peers that you can kind of grow together and you're all equals and bouncing ideas off of each other and holding each other accountable, or if that is mentors that have already achieved what you want to achieve and can tell you, hey, this is what I did. And they can also hold you accountable depending. If you have heard me speak about it, we recently invested $60,000 into a mastermind, and that gives us both. So we have a community of people, and I love to see them learning the same things that we're learning, going through the same things that we're going through. Some of them maybe are a little bit ahead of us and sharing their wins in our private Facebook group. Maybe some of them are behind us, and I'm able to say, oh, I remember when I was where you were. It's worth it. Stick with it. So it's this give and take, and that's really fun. And then also the coaches are able to give very specific advice to us. I for a fact would not be here where I am today without these coaches. So having mentors and coaches that can help you and also hold you accountable. So I mentioned quitting is not in my vocabulary, but on the days that it was hard and that I was considering giving up, but just feeling very frustrated, I was able to tell myself, I spent a lot of money on this mastermind. It would be crazy of me to quit. So oftentimes people think, oh, I don't want to spend any money. I just want to watch the free YouTube videos, blah, blah, blah. But it's actually hurting you even more, because when you invest, the accountability thing is, I think this is a general statement, but probably the thing that if everyone could have one extra thing that would help them be successful, I think it would be consistency. And the reason most people can't be consistent, or one way to really help them be consistent, is to have accountability. Whether this is fitness goals, money goals, marriage goals, friendship goals, parent-child goals, any goals that you have, when you start a new goal, the hardest thing is getting yourself to actually show up and do that thing, because creating new habits is really hard. So if you can give yourself a community to keep you accountable, and also if you can pay money into a program, even if you're just paying for a gym membership, I know this works for a lot of people. Oh, it's $40 a month, or oh, it's $70 a month. Well, now I have to go to the gym because otherwise it's a waste of money, and I don't like wasting money. That can help so much. So I for sure experienced this in this program. Again, not that I ever was going to quit, but when those thoughts just kind of entered my brain, it was like an absolute no-brainer, because we had already signed up for this year-long program and paid $60,000. There was no way that we were going to quit. So think about whatever your goals are, whether they're money related, business related. I mean, these things work for any kinds of goals. How can you find a community and also coaches and mentors? So community is going to be peers equal where you're at, so you can grow together. And mentors, coaches is going to be people that have already achieved what you want. They can tell you what's going on. Hey, Mona, how's it going? They can tell you what's going on. They can tell you, oh, this is the shortcut. Oh, don't do this. Oh, focus on this. And both the community and the coaches can hold you accountable, keep you consistent, keep reminding you of what your goals are, keep reminding you of point number 2, which was, hey, don't give up. If you keep going, you're so close. Good things take time, but the more that you show up, the more likely it is that you're going to achieve your goals. All of those things make such a difference. So for a quick recap, the 3 things that I learned in this month, when Jordan and I yesterday were going through our finances and realized that we made more in the month of May than January, February, March, and April combined. And then we were talking about why this had happened. The 3 things that I would have told me how to achieve that if I wanted to replicate it for someone else is, 1, look at your numbers, track your numbers, know what you spend every week or every month, know what you earn every week or every month, and know what your dream lifestyle looks like in terms of how much you earn, and have that dream budget, because it just makes it so much more real, and it makes it so much easier to attain when you know, a massage is $100 a month or whatever, and I actually thought it was going to be $600 or whatever it is. Sometimes when you have these dreams, until you run the numbers, you're not exactly sure how much you actually need. And then maybe your goal is too big, or maybe your goal is too small. And maybe you're actually closer than you think to having these things in your life that you're kind of going towards. Because for the most part, I don't think people just dream about $100,000. They dream about what that $100,000 will do for them in their life and in their business. So know what your numbers are, know what your dream life looks like and how much you want. And tip, you can have stages. So you can have the next stage, we want to buy a castle. That's not in this dream budget, because it's a couple iterations off. In this budget is just more traveling, more, kind of luxury things, expenses, employees, stuff like that. So know your numbers, track your numbers, and be consistent with that. Number 2 is be consistent with whatever your goals are. Understand that good things take time, that even if you're not seeing progress, you are making progress. Your skills compound, your confidence compounds. The self-belief that you have when you keep showing up day after day and saying, I'm not going to quit, that compounds, and all of a sudden your identity is, I'm someone that gets things done. I'm someone that does what I say I'm going to do. I'm someone that when I set out on a goal, I'm going to achieve it, and I'm not going to quit until I achieve that. So all of these things are happening behind the scenes, and they're all contributing to that hockey stick growth that I talked about, where often it feels like you're making no progress, and then you get to the point, this is where people call it an overnight success. Yes, it maybe looks like it's happening overnight, but really there was like 5 years in the making where they were just building all the skill sets, building their confidence, building their self-belief, building all of these things, and then overnight they make $100,000 or they make $1 million or whatever that thing is. So never give up. Just keep going. It's better to take 1,000 tiny steps than to take 3 big steps and then quit. So make sure that you stay consistent. That's tip number 2. And then number 3 is to find people that help with tip number 1 and tip number 2, because it's really hard to start new habits. It's really hard to do things when it doesn't feel like you're making any progress, because it's really easy to tell yourself, oh, well, I can skip today because it's not doing anything anyway, or, oh, I should just quit because I'm not making any progress anyway, or whatever these stories that people tell themselves. And I've coached thousands of realtors, and that is the most common story I'll say that people have about themselves, is that, oh, just because today I'm not where I want to be, that means that tomorrow I'm not going to be, or 2 months from now. People like to project their current situation out into the future, and they don't realize truly how quickly things can change. All it takes is that one day, where I use the ice cube example. You're going from 20 degrees to 21, 25, 27, 30, 32, 33. And then it just takes that one day for the ice cube to start melting. And then you're here on out melting. So when you're in the hockey stick curve, make sure whatever it takes, don't stop here. And very, very often that is finding a community of people. So peers that are around the same place as you, where you're at. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. So finding a community of people that are similar to where you're at, similar place in their life, place in their business, place in wherever their goals are. And then also coaches and mentors, which are people that are further than you, already have what you want, because there's equal value in both. There's something very special about having a community of people that are chasing goals together, and you're learning and growing and you're hitting the obstacles together, because it's very nice to say, oh, you're having that bad day. I had that bad day last week. Or someone can say to you, oh, you're hitting this obstacle. I just had that obstacle, or I'm about to hit that obstacle. Maybe you can teach me. There's something very special about masterminding across the same plane. And then there's something very, very helpful of having coaches and mentors that can say, oh, I've seen this in hundreds of other people or thousands of other people, or even in my own journey, I've been where you're at, and this is what you need to do. And this is how I can say with certainty that you're going to make it. And, oh, if you just make this small tweak or whatever it is. So quick recap on the 3 tips I wish I knew that I think were the biggest thing to help me basically 4x our income this month, is tracking our numbers and being very, very diligent about that, being consistent and being very, very diligent about that, and knowing that the only way to fail is to quit, and never quitting. And the third one is finding community and mentors, or I say finding people to help make 1 and 2 easier for me. So hope you like this. Happy Memorial Day to those that are watching live, and happy whatever day if you're watching in the future. I'll be back next Monday with the live. In the meantime, if you want to find me we got Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. I post tons of content, tips, mindset hacks, all these fun things. I just want to help as many people as I can. So remember, you are all kings and queens, and abundance is your birthright. I'll see you at the top.